One of the first promotions you'll be receiving after starting out an accounting firm is to jump from a new experienced associate to a senior associate. Today, I'll be providing you with a breakdown of what you can expect as a senior associate based on my personal experience from working at a Big Four accounting firm, as well as just working with senior associates on a daily basis. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gabrielle, and for those who are new to my channel, I am a tax manager at a Big Four accounting firm. And here on my channel, I like to talk about topics related to personal finance, career, and work-life balance. And today, I'll be jumping right into the tasks of a senior associate at a Big Four accounting firm. At this point, you have probably worked at the firm for 2+ years and expect to designate shortly as a CPA after passing the CPA exam. You have probably spent the past few years following instructions and guidance of your seniors. Your role as a senior associate is now transitioning from simply following to a more leadership role, and you will start coaching juniors and learning how to manage files. So by the end of 5 years, you can be ready for your next promotion to a manager. Administrative tasks. Of course, you cannot escape the administrative tasks. I don't think you could ever really escape it, especially since you have been doing it the past 2 years as a new associate. However, you can start delegating and reviewing the work of your juniors, so hopefully less of your time is doing admin work. Now I'll be jumping into your role or your tasks as a senior associate for tax compliance. One of your newfound roles is reviewing juniors' work. After having a junior complete the preparation of the tax return, you will also receive a list of questions from them. It is your role to review the tax return from a more big picture perspective instead of just digging into the details. You will also spot check whether financial numbers tied to the tax return, such as whether the GIFI balances and if there has been any changes compared to the prior year. You might have been told by the client of any changes in the business and would have discussed with the manager on how it may or may not impact the tax return. You would also be focusing more on these changes as well as reviewing for any new accounts to investigate further. It is expected that the junior's work would require some tweaking, and for their development as well as efficiency in your time, you would compile a list of review notes for the junior to update. And what review notes are is that they can be in an email format or they can be summarized in Excel or Word document. It's just good practice to give a timeline as to when to expect the changes to be done so that you can review it and make sure all your changes are incorporated. And this may require a couple of back and forths. Some cases you may just make the changes yourself given the time constraint. And then after all the changes are done and you're happy with the tax return, you would now pass it on to your manager for final review. One of your new tasks as a senior associate is starting to coach. So while you may have only been a coachee as a new associate, you may now be a coach with coachees to mentor. Especially when it comes to your new role as a senior associate, one of your newfound roles is to guide new associates and to teach them if they are doing something incorrectly or have trouble understanding a certain concept so that they can learn and improve for other files that they are working on. It is also part of your role to care about the well-being of juniors and to not just dump a bunch of work on them, but to actually ask them about other files that they have and to see if your requests are reasonable. One of your new tasks as a senior associate is learning to manage files. Before, you may have been told timelines to meet and not have much say in the process. However, as a senior associate, you now have a better understanding of client expectations and how long certain files take. Working backwards from an external deadline, such as a tax return deadline or a client-set deadline, you can set certain internal deadlines for your team to work with so that you can have enough time to review, as well as for the manager to review, as well as a partner to sign off on. This definitely requires some time management skills. Another task as a senior associate is updating the manager. One important task is to manage expectations and to communicate clearly. It's not simply enough to assume that your junior or your manager knows what's going on or what you plan to do. Let the juniors know on what date to get back on you with your final product and to escalate any issues before that. You also need to let the manager know when you expect to have something ready for their review so that they can have time to manage their own files. Usually, the more senior you get the files you're working on later down the timeline. closer to the due dates. So while it is expected for you to resolve any minor or moderate issues, it is extremely important for you to raise any issues that appear beyond your expertise to the manager or senior manager so that they have as much time possible to handle the situation. It is definitely no good if you sit on the issue thinking you could figure it out and you end up not figuring it out, and now your seniors find out with little time to resolve it. Another task of a senior associate is getting more tax consulting work. And now that you have some technical tax skills under your belt, you may be asked to go on more tax consulting projects. This may be in a PowerPoint format with diagrams and simplified explanations, or it can be in a written memo format. Some of the tasks asked of you may be to conduct research, whether that is by looking through the Income Tax Act, the research database, rulings, court cases, etc., about a specific tax issue. You would then learn how to organize your information and highlight the areas to support or don't support the issue or position you're trying to pursue. And then the next layer would be to apply the client facts to the rules to see if it applies to client-specific situation. Most often than not, there may be scenarios where the rules appear gray and where you would work with your manager or partner in weighing both sides of the issues to build a solid case. Another task of a senior associate is to build on your business development skills. You may find yourself in more client-facing or client contact roles where your manager feels comfortable letting you run the show. You may find yourself feeling more comfortable calling the client or working directly with the client to get information that you need. And you may also be equipped to find opportunities within the files you are working in, or simply talking to the client on potential work that the firm can pursue. Obviously, the task of getting more work to increase the firm's revenue is not your primary responsibility, as it primarily sits with the senior manager or partner. However, you may be expected to start developing these skills and spotting opportunities as you move up in the firm. So in a nutshell, I covered the tasks of a senior associate at an accounting firm. And if you guys really enjoyed that video, then feel free to check out my other videos on tasks of a tax accountant. One for new associates from 0 to 2 years of experience. I also have one for tax managers, what I do as a tax manager on a daily basis. So feel free to check those out. I will link them in this video so that you could click on them. If you guys found my video useful today, it would really mean a lot to me if you guys could hit the like button down below, as well as don't forget to hit the subscribe and notification bell so that you can be updated on any future videos that I post. Thank you so much for watching my video today, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!